Yeah, I have. I've been through lots of things in my life. Divorce. What is it? What's it about? What's it with him? What's with it? All this, and I suppose in a world of cappuccinos and skinny lattes, I was just a cup of Yorkshire tea when I was younger.
So hello everybody and welcome to yet another location for the NYH podcast. We're back out on site and we're in, not too far from my house actually, we're in Sandbach and with my good friend Dave. And we met, I'm trying to think, Scotland, wasn't it?
Scot plant,
yeah. Scot plant. Met earlier this year, Scot plant, and he's like, look, come down, you're not far from me, come and record a podcast. And here we go. This is it, we're recording it. So Dave, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Dave Vickers, director in Clickers Construction. Also have a small plant hire business. Been in the industry all my life since leaving school. Mainly plant hire diggers, machine driver basically is my trade. But later years got on to more the construction side of things, so groundworking. I'm mainly a groundworker now, off the diggers as much, in a gang with lads on my company. And I'm doing building and all sorts and loving it really, yeah. Yeah,
we're on one of your sites today and I tell you what, it's a tidy site.
Yeah, well, one thing I've learned, so I'm older than mine now, I'm 40 this time. Been in the industry, like I say, a long time really now, I suppose, from leaving school. And that's my big thing, is keeping a site neat and tidy, getting it running efficiently. So, yeah, that's what we like as Clickers Construction. That is key to us, keeping the job right and tidy. So.
Yeah, I think if you've got a tidy site, tidy mind, you're not...
Tidy site, safe side, right?
But you burst onto the scene a couple of years ago by winning Operator of the Year, didn't you?
Yeah, so just coming out of COVID. I'll break it down very quickly for people that don't know. I bought a new machine, Takeuchi machines. I run all Takeuchi machines in the business. Bought a Takeuchi machine, and Takeuchi wanted Earth to do like some promotional stuff for them. So they said, we're going to send Nick Drew up now. Nick Drew's into the plant social media guy. He's got Earth Movers magazine, very nice guy. He come up on one of our sites, did some videos and stuff, and from then on, there was a video of me driving the machine, and my local dealer, Takeuchi dealer, said, I've seen that video, you're driving that machine, I've entered you for a competition, UK Plant Operator of the Year. And I thought, oh no, that's not my cup of tea. Oh, a bit nervous. Oh, I hope I don't get through to the final. Anyway, you had to vote, online votes it was, and my mum was working and going to clubs and things, and she got everybody to vote. I got through to the final. Long story short, went down to the finals day for the first ever Operator of the Year, UK Plant Ops magazine. Great competition, the first one around really, giving back to the operator. A real good family day it was, and yeah, ended up winning the whole day, and I was the first ever UK Plant Operator of the Year, so absolute buzzing. It was like, it is the highlight of my career really, to be honest. Excellent. I don't think it comes any better. So live and breathe diggers, always have done, and to win that day was ace. And from then on, they said to me, basically what they said, right Dave, you're the first ever UK Plant Operator of the Year. You're big news at the moment, what do you want to do? I said, I'd love to try and help youngsters, new starters into the construction industry, into the plant side of things. Some like tips and advice, and I've done everything, seems to be like I've done everything the hard way. I left school, went driving a machine. I could drive a machine, but it's your experience, and it takes years to get these experience, learning, watching other people drive machines and how they tackle things, and you make so many mistakes, and then it starts all coming together. So I just thought, if I can pass some of this knowledge that I've gained, pass it on and try and help people out. So we've got a little... So UK Plant Operators do a YouTube channel, they've got the magazine, so we're doing a bit of that kind of stuff. And I've got on Instagram and TikTok, because I wasn't on social media really before all this, and I suppose in a world of cappuccinos and skinny lattes, I was just a cup of Yorkshire tea when I was younger. So yeah, I'm embracing it and I'm enjoying it. And I do some daft videos on TikTok and stuff, and we do some nice ones, and we just try and do a bit of a mix, and I'm really enjoying doing it. I'm getting some really good feedback. You always get your haters on social media, and you just got to let them not bother you, because that's life. But yeah, we got some good feedback. We've met some great people. I do a lot of work with Takuchi diggers. I use their machines. I do the plant shows. I've done the Takuchi time, which we raise money for the lighthouse. I really enjoy doing that. And I say to people, just email me, text me, phone me, send me a message. If I can ever help anyone, that's all part and parcel. So, and then the competition's getting bigger and bigger. So, fourth year just gone, 2024. The competition's getting bigger, and I do the commentating for the day. And we have a bit of fun, and interviewing people, and just basically getting the day brought together, and my bit of knowledge on plant and the competition day. So really enjoying it, to be fair. And yeah, that's so Digging with Dave. That's what we are on the social media, Digging with Dave, and yeah, that's where we're at with me social media. And also I won Groundworker of the Year with On the Tools. So involved with them, good guys, do a lot of good work, and that's where we're at the moment.
Do you think all this came from like your own experience, how you want to help and give back to the industry and help people come into the industry? One, we've got a massive shortfall of people that are starting apprenticeships or entering the construction industry. But two, do you feel like when you were starting in the industry, there was something missing? Like you said, because you come from a construction family, there was a lot of pressure put on you because people think, oh, he's a Vickers, he knows how to drive a machine. Did you think, well, I can drive a machine, but when I'm out on site, it's a totally different game?
Exactly right there, Rob, to be honest, yeah. So I left school. First of all, I left school at 16. I went welding because my dad's a plant fitter. So I ended up going mobile welding. Enjoyed it, welding on plants, doing bits and pieces, but my heart was always in diggers, plant machinery. So I went driving at probably 17, and yeah, I could drive a machine, but it's all, like you say, it's the experience setting the machine up. Someone said to me, right, Dave, I want you to dig a batter. Well, the only batter I know is what's on your fish on a Friday night, so I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I suppose nowadays with internet and research and social media, it's a lot easier. You can look and see what's going on, what other people are doing. But back then, there was none of that when I started. And there was no book to learn out of. Yeah, you could go do your digger ticket and they'll teach you the basics, but you don't start learning till you go out on site. And also, it's not... My dad always said to me, when you go on a machine, 60% is how good you can drive that machine, and 40% is how you put yourself out, how you introduce yourself to people, having the crack. Hey mate, you all right? How you do? Yeah, okay. It's all about presentation. So, it's nice to be able to pass this information on that I feel I've learned the hard way. I really do. I've drove to work literally near enough in tears, worried to death about, what am I going to do? I've got to dig a footing, we've got concrete on, but if I'm with the machine, how do I do this? And I don't want to let anyone down. I'd hate for anyone to be like that. It's also, there is a bit of good in that, because you're getting on top of your job. I feel like nerves are good, you can use it. It's an energy that you want to get better, but it's also really hard when you're driving to work or not sleeping at night because you're worried about your job. So, yeah, there is a skill shortage. We need to get more youngsters into this industry, but we don't want to make it look like a scary industry and you've got to be amazing. So, there is, and training is where I started at AP Web Plant at Railway. I was the youngest driver on the railway, driving road rail plant. And getting in with companies like that, they have got good training structures that you can get involved in. CITB, CPCS cards, MPOR cards, there's lots of qualifications, but it's all good, but you really only start learning until you get your boots on the ground. So
yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of it comes down to the patience of the people that you're working with, because you could get sent to some places. I've certainly worked on jobs where you get dropped on them and it's full ball straight away.
Yeah. And
then I think that's when mistakes can be made and the people can be put off from being in the industry. But if they've got somewhere where they can sit and refer back to on an evening, or in a brew cabin when they're having a break, when they're actually getting out of the machines, because you can be sat in the machines for hours and hours and hours, they've got somewhere to go and have a look at this thing, and maybe because I think a lot of the times when people will be like, I don't want to go and ask my boss about this because he thinks I should know how to do this and I don't know how to do it. And if I go and ask him how to do it, he's going to think I can't do my job, and then he'll get rid of me.
Yeah, exactly right.
Can't do my job, and all those thought spirals that people can go down. But if there's a place where they can go and just watch a 5, 10, 15, 20 minute video, whatever it is, and get a bit of inside knowledge and a bit of know-how, they can then relate that, and they'll put it into their own ways, but it's a starting block for people.
Yeah, definitely. And also what I've always found in my career is I've always watched different people driving and operating and how they conduct themselves, because every day is a school day. It is. Yeah. I've been driving quite a long time now, but I still learn stuff off anybody. You don't have to be the best driver. You can see a driver that's not so good and to do something, you think, yeah, that's a really good way. So communication, talk to people. How did you do that again? Don't think you know it all, because you don't. No one does. One thing Dad always said to me, if I ever hear you tell people how good you are, I'll find you, I'll give you a clip round the ear. And it's still in my mind now, and that is the truth. It's real. I've really took that to home with me that no, you're only as good as what you are. You always say you're only as good as your last hire on a digger, but you're only as good as what you are. And if you can communicate, talk to people, ask questions, that's how you're going to learn, and that's when you become the complete package, I think, in the industry. So I always like talking to people. It's important to communicate and talk and rattle and have a laugh and a joke as well, Rob.
Yeah, I think because site life has certainly got very serious, I think, over the past few years. I mean, rightly so in some aspects, that you have got to cut out all the stupidity and stuff like that. We've got a job to do and deadlines and everything like that. But then at the same time, I think it can lose its sense of community, I guess, and you can find yourself on some sites where there's little cliques and nobody talks to each other, nobody gets involved with each other because everybody's so focused and so scared to do anything other than the work that they're doing. And I think it's really important that you bring in having the crack. We've just had a sandwich downstairs, we sat for 10-15 minutes, I had a bit of banter, crack, telling stories and
Brilliant.
things like that.
That's what it's all about, mate.
And it's and I'll be honest with you, I've missed it because I don't work on site every day now. Although I'm visiting a lot of sites, I never sit and have that time. And I do really, really, really miss it. And this morning, woke up for no other reason than I felt a bit anxious. I've come here, had a laugh with you, had a laugh with the lads out on site, taking some pictures, doing this, and I actually feel a lot better. I think, do you know what I think it is, right? I think this is what my normal day used to look like.
Used to be like, get it,
And because I'm not in that world anymore, or not in the day-to-day world of it anymore, I do really miss it. And I think it's made me realise how important stuff like this is, and the teams that you work in.
Yeah, well, like on this site, so we've got ground workers, bricklayers, cladders, site manager, under managers. Friday, I like to get everybody in the cabin. We have a butty, like you just said, cup of tea, have a chat and have a laugh and a joke. And I love it. I'm a talker, Rob, you know me. I'm a talker. I love having a laugh and a joke. But it's so nice getting all different people from all over the country. We're in Staffordshire, we're in Cheshire, we're from Staffordshire, but you got people from all over and you're all in one room and you're hearing different things, and I love it. It's important. I was saying to you earlier, like, being in a machine can be a lonely place. Now, I'm lucky where I'm on the ground. There's a gang of 3 of us here on the groundworks. It's lovely. I love being in the gang. When you're in the gang, you've got each other's backs, you're working together. You don't have to look at each other and you know what everyone's thinking. But when you're in machine, so when I was just on machines, wasn't ground working, it can be a lonely place, and you can be in that cab for 12 hours a day. And if your head just isn't in the frame and you've got some worry or some stress on or something going on, wow, it can be such a lonely place. And then your mind starts playing games because there's only you in there. Okay, put a bit of the old Vernon Kay on radio too. And that takes the day away. But sometimes if you're on, your mind will play games. So I always say, get out that machine. We have half hour for breakfast, half hour for dinner. Get out that machine, go to the toilet, wash your hands, get in the cabin, have your butty, and have the crack and talk and listen to people as well. It isn't just about talking; it's listening as well, isn't it? And that's been a big key to my construction journey. I love being in the cabin, talking. I've had many conversations where you have something wrong with you. Mention it in the cabin. There's probably 20 blokes in there and women. 20 people in the cabin, all there, sitting eating your sandwiches, different trades, different walks of life, different experiences. If you've got a problem, tell people. You might open yourself up for a lot of Mickey take. But 9 times out of 10, as you walk out the cabin, someone will usually go, yeah, I've done that, mate. I know exactly what that is. You need to go to the doctors and ask for this. You'll be sound. Don't worry, you get yourself sorted. And that, to me, is my mechanism and coping in life. Just talk, tell people, where I wear my heart on my sleeve, but just talk, tell people. Somebody somewhere has been through similar or knows somebody, and a problem shared is a problem off. So
definitely a character that wears his heart on his sleeve. You're a big outgoing character, but has it always been like that, or do you think have you used that character some days to hide what's really going on in life? I have. I've been through lots of things in my life. Divorced and kids and with children and things, but I listen, don't get me wrong, I love a laugh and a joke, and I'm very loud talking, I'm very animated, my arms always going, but I have been, and I do get absolutely upset, and I am quite an emotional person. I watch James Herriot on what's it called? All Creatures. I cry all the way through. I still cry at Love Actually, but I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I will show me emotion. And I think it's one of my strong points that I will show me emotion. And if I'm scared or worried, I will tell people. And I feel like that's really been a great coping mechanism for me. If I've got a problem, tell people. I don't bottle nothing. And if I do, my wife's probably knows me better than anyone. She knows when I've got something on my chest because I come home and I'm... But it's only a matter of time she'll go, tell me then, and I'll spill it. But one thing, what I've always... great question asking, I'm this character, but deep down, I am an emotional person. I do get worried. I do suffer with, if anything, really, from the age of about 12 till 18, 19, I real struggle with nerves. I was nervous about everything. Stomach, straight away my stomach started going. And it was nerves. I'm going from a young man into an adult industry, a big boy industry, the construction industry. It's sink or swim time. And I really did struggle with nerves, but the older I've got, I've realised, no, just don't worry, don't keep it all in here. Don't keep it all in this horrible, horrific stomach pain. Talk to people. Listen, I've got this job. I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me out? What would you do? And I've got some fantastic people in that phone book that I've met. In that phone book there, I've met people from when I started to present day. And I know for a fact I can just click on there and there'll be somebody that can help me out. And like you said, that's my mechanism of coping, talk to people. What do you think changed for you at 12 years old?
Don't know really. I suppose growing up as a youngster, adult playing, when you get older, don't you? You kind of start channeling your mind. What do you want to do for a living? Where do I want to go? Diggers, I love plant. Then you start, I suppose you start realising that, I'm going to leave school, go driving, go to work. So I don't know. I think it was all that kind of aspect of growing up.
Do you think you were worried about a sense of not so much responsibility, but you were putting pressure on yourself to coming from a construction family to hit certain standards and be as good as your peers, as good as the other family members?
I always wanted to be good, and I've got like you say, I'm 4th generation in construction. It did did worry me a little bit, because you don't, my father in the industry, good solid name, had his own business. But no, that didn't really worry me so much, because one thing that my mother and father have always given me is fantastic support, love, and the attitude that as long as you've got them, you can always earn a quid. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think, Rob, to be honest with you, looking back at it now, is I used to worry about worry.
Yeah.
I know it sounds really daft, but apparently my nan, she was the same, and my dad kind of is, or was. He's not as, perhaps, I don't know. But I know my nan did. If there was nothing to worry about, I would worry that I'm not worried. So, I don't know, but I seem to have grown to cope with that. Must have been as I've grown up, I've kind of coped with that.
You learn to self-soothe, don't you? And give yourself, right, I feel like I need to worry about this, but everything's going good, and it's allowing yourself to switch that feeling off, and it can be really, 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 really difficult. And it sometimes, like, people look to me and say to me, "Oh, the work that you do now, and how you talk about stuff and everything you do, you've got all your shit in order." I have not.
Yeah.
There's times where it gets me, and even all the self-soothing stuff that I usually do, that doesn't work for me anymore, and I'm having to adapt and change it all the time, and try and figure out new ways of doing it, because the world's constantly changing, your life's constantly changing.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
And things that might have helped me 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 years ago isn't helping me now, and sometimes I find it difficult, and then I'll start to worry about it. Well, why can't I get rid of this feeling, and why is this not working, and why do I don't feel like I can get to a baseline, or whatever it might be at that time. These are all the things that certainly sometimes makes me worry about worrying, and so I totally get what you mean about worrying.
I suppose my mum, I remember being at school, and I'd come back with my grades or something like that, and my mum would go, "Have you tried your best?" I say, "Yeah." She went, "Well, there you go, that's all you can do, fine. As long as you've tried your best. But if you haven't tried your best, then you need to." And that's always stuck in me, man. Just try your best. Apply yourself. If you can honestly say at the end of the day, you've done your best and it's still not good enough, well, I don't know what else I can do, because I have given you, I've thrown the kitchen sink at it. If it's still not good enough, well, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and I think sometimes you've got the right mindset there. Well, I've tried and it's not worked. I think some people can get consumed by, I'm trying and it's still not good enough. That means I'm not good enough, and all that side of things. And people can put massive pressure on themselves to go out and perform. And then there's take driving with a machine, for example. You might be doing a swale and you want it all on the batten ice and flat and everything like that on it. And because you're putting that much pressure on yourself, you take your mind off the focus, because your mind's distracted.
Correct.
And then you go and put a divot in the middle of it. I've got to start again and move all around.
Well, a little story here. So I remember my first ever time I was trimming MOT on a road, Camden Road, trimming up. I was really trying my best. I was giving it full application, taking my time, like you say, coming through, grading through. I'm just coming to the end, and I thought, brilliant, I've done it. I'm really happy with that. And an Irish guy comes over to me. He says, "Driver, don't worry about any of the fancy stuff. Just put it in level." He was having the crack, but I felt like my whole world had crumbled in for that moment. I just thought, well, I've just tried my best. And also you got to know where your capabilities are. Like another job, a guy I was working alongside T-Dog. He's 78, still driving machines. He was actually doing some backfilling at the Operator of the Year a couple of years ago. Fantastic driver. I've watched him put a road in with an 8-ton machine and a blade, cambered. And I've looked at it and gone, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I couldn't do that. I would nowhere near be as good as that man. But I watched how he did it. And I thought, well, maybe one day. And it's only, like you say, he's 78 and still driving machines better than most people. So, instead of just going, look at him over there. No. Admire it, respect it, and learn from it. Yeah. What a tool to learn from there. So, Yeah, well, when he said that, don't worry about the fancy stuff, just put it on. Full application, try your best all the time.
Have you noticed any big changes in the industry, like people's attitude towards, like, there's loads of attitude changes towards, like, well, it's not my job, I'm not bothered. Is it the same in operating stuff?
Yeah, there is. Like you say, we spoke about it earlier, about cliques on site, the very cliquey tradespeople and stuff. And at the end of the day, mate, we're just one team, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are one team. So building this building here, there's lots of moving parts to it, but you've all got to come together to make the final product. So I'm a massive, as you know by my Digging with Dave stickers, on every sticker I put teamwork makes the dream work, because it does.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I wish more people would run on that saying, teamwork makes the dream work, because it does. There's not just one trade or one person on the side that does it all. It's a team effort.
Yeah.
And we've all got to get together. And years ago, you'd be on a big job, lots of machines and different companies and different companies supplying plant, and it used to get very cliquey. Just ignore it. Do your job, focus on your job. If you're doing drainage, get your drainage in. If there's somebody this is a big one for me. If there's somebody struggling, like a machine, look, we're talking machine driving here, this is my gig. So if there's a machine driver that's doing something and they're blatantly struggling, try and help people.
Yeah.
Just go and, hey mate, listen, put your bucket on the other way, it might help you out. And if they respect you, oh, thanks ever so much, great. If they go, oh, no, I don't need you then, fair enough. But at least you've tried to help somebody.
Yeah.
I've been in a right mess. And I lifted the machine down in between two sheet piles. We were building a road up with MOT, and there's a rubber duck machine, wheel machine, putting stone in, and I'm grading it, and I'm trying to grade it. This machine had a blade on, and this old boy, he just went, Dave, use your blade, just blade it out, be quicker. Yeah. And I've used the blade ever since that day on the machine. I was trying to do it with the bucket. The blade's there for a reason, use the blade. Thank you ever so much. And I bought him a sandwich on the Friday to say thank you, because a simple gesture made my life easier, and I learned a lesson.
Yeah.
So if you could pass that little bit on. So instead of just sitting there in the machine watching someone struggle, get out, walk over to them, introduce yourself, have a crack, help people out. Because like we've just said, teamwork does make the dream work.
Well, if you could go back to 12-year-old Dave, what would you give him to as his advice to help him out at that time? Looking back on your life now.
Yeah. So 12-year-old Dave, when I used to worry about worry. Yeah. What would I give back? Well, I would just say, just try your best. Your mum said it to you.
Yeah.
Try your best. Use your manners.
Yeah.
Drilled into people, manners maketh man.
Yeah.
And it's so true. They get you a long way.
Yeah.
How you present yourself to people will get you places, using your manners and things. And I just basically just say, just as long as you work hard, try your best, be kind, and work in a team. For me, I think you can go places doing that.
Definitely. I think be kind is a big one, I think.
Be kind, yeah. Be kind.
Because you never know what's going on in somebody's life.
I'll tell you another one as well, Rob. A guy used to work with me, Jimmy, smashing guy, still speak to him and have a lot to do with him. And he always said, his dad told him, and he told me, and I thought, it's something that stuck in my head. He says, when you go somewhere, it doesn't have to be a site, when you go somewhere, always treat everybody with the same level of respect.
Yeah.
Because you never know who you're talking to. You could be talking to a cleaner, I don't know, somebody working for the company, or you could be speaking to the managing director of the company.
Yeah.
You never know. So if you treat everybody with the same amount of respect, then that'll get you on, won't it?
Yeah,
you know, because
exactly,
you never know who you're talking to. It's always stuck to me, and it's right, isn't it? Like you walked on here, you said good morning. Okay, you said good morning to the first person because I'm watching your phone machine was a groundwork. The other one was the site manager.
Yeah.
But you spoke to them both with the same level of respect because you don't know who's who, do you?
Yeah,
We haven't all got name badges.
Yeah,
we have this. Well, I have this new to me a little bit. We have this hard hat scheme now, isn't it? Black hat's a super hat. No. I wear any colour hat.
Yeah.
You know, white hat, black hat, brown, whatever. That means nothing to me, really. But you don't know. To me, it doesn't matter anyway. We're all in the same. We're all this one team.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
But if you speak to everyone with the same level of respect, I think that helps you get on. It's just one thing. It's come to me just now. I've always remembered it.
Definitely. I think like when we first started chatting at Scotland, you came over. We were at stalls opposite each other, weren't we? And we were chatting in between the day. He was busy show. That.
Busy show, yeah, good show.
And you were like, any help you need, let me know. And that's always stuck with me. Remembered that. And do you think people's attitude towards mental health and wellbeing in the industry has changed over the years to what it used to be?
Yeah, because it's had to change, hasn't it?
Yeah, massively. Yeah.
And the world's changed. You know, when we were kids to now, so when we were kids, when I was a kid to now, the world has changed massively. And I think we're very guilty on early years that a case of suck it up buttercup comes to mind, doesn't it? You know, man up, all these kind of sayings. And no, you know, it's not as easy as that. And especially how people think. Everyone's different. We're all different. We all got our coping mechanisms like we've talked about. But we need to be aware of it, about mental health, you know. And I think the construction industry is probably one of the worst industries for, what's up with them? What's up with them, weirdo? Come on, crack on. No, let's get to the bottom of what's up with them and is there a reason? And, you know, and I do feel that we're moving in the right direction. People are getting more aware of mental health. I used to struggle with, what's all this mental health about? I mean, my sister, she went through some bad times and we all stuck together and we talked, and that was for me communication, talking. If you got a problem, let's share it. Problem shared is problem halved. And Rob, I'm full of them today, but it's just come in my mind. Another one of my little coping mechanisms let's talk about mental health. And it's another one that come from my mother. Used to get worried. Oh, am I going to do this? Am I going to do this job? I've got the draw. Am I going to start tackle this? Son, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So we've got to start somewhere. We've got to start at A, and we've got to work our way around it and do it. And you know, it's always stuck with me, and it's true. How do you eat an elephant? You get one bite at a time. How do you start? You got this big machine, fresh site, where do you start? I can't see a drawing to what I'm doing. I can't. I know people that look at a drawing and know exactly where to start. No. Let's start digging and it'll come clear as we go on.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's just my thing is just little bits each day. Let's keep doing a bit. Right, that's good. That's not so good. Let's just keep moving on. Yeah, let's keep going, and that's how it all gets together.
I think I had a similar attitude to you for a long time about what is all this mental health?
Yeah, what is it? What's it about?
What's
up with him? What's up with it?
And I think it's not till you go through something yourself or have a realisation that's
or somebody you know that's going through and you think, wow, okay.
That it is a real thing and how it can affect people and people's attitude within the industry. Look, we're all rough, tough construction workers. We can all go out there and do the tough jobs that we do, no matter what trade you are. Even electricians, it can be tough on that side. But we all have stuff that go on in our lives, and we all have things that affect us differently. Like, I mean, we were talking about stuff in the cabin before about experiences and how life's changing and what insecurities that we've had over the years and everything like that, and how we can work through it. Years ago, we wouldn't have been able to have those conversations. You might have skated around it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because you didn't know how to approach it. But I think certainly on this site and a lot of the sites that I go to now, people are having these conversations, and people are realising that they're not the only ones that are feeling like that. And exactly like you said, that there's going to be a certain level of pee taking, but choosing exactly like you said, somebody will come out to you and you go, this has happened to me, kid.
Yeah, definitely. You're always going to open yourself up to that. Let's not beat around the bush or try and sugarcoat it. When you've got a bunch of men together, and not just men, because there's females, and there isn't any females on our sites, but we've got girls in the office that have been out on site. They've come and did some training and things, and but you get this bravado, don't you? Big construct. Nah. Yeah. Talk. Yeah. Communicate. Let's work through it. And like you say, you do. I've done it. Embarrassing things and, oh God, you tell him, what's he got a spot on his wheel? Someone will go, don't worry, sort yourself out. We'll get let us know. I know someone that, and that, I stand by it. That canteen, that brew room is an important place for me in construction. Talk, communicate, have a laugh and a joke. You can get some fantastic material, jokes. Years ago there wasn't the phones with comedians and all these TikToks and daft things, joke, storytelling and jokes were brilliant. You've been on that little jokes that come round. You can tell one gang of blokes, they're crying at it, you go and tell. I used to love having some great jokes, loved it. There isn't many jokes about now because everyone's on this at brew time, aren't they? Seeing the material. Yeah. When you've got a good joke, because you can tell it in the canteen, on site, at the pub, out with friends. I love the good joke. So any jokes you get, Rob, on site, you make sure you send them.
I'll send them.
I love a good joke. But it's important, isn't it? And talk, when you're walking in the morning lads, your age, have the crack, talk about it.
Definitely, it's certainly changing. You can certainly see that. Yeah, the people that work on here are loving it and enjoying it, and you've got a good team of lads set up here.
Yeah, we have. I'm proud of all of them. We've got some good people. Me and my business partner Luke, we set Clickers Construction up, and Luke's a bricklayer. I'm a ground worker. Incidentally, Luke always said the ground workers are bricklayers that have had their heads kicked. I don't feel about it. But no, we have the crack, and he's a good guy. We've got some good people that work for us, and we try and help everyone out as best we can. And at the end of the day, like I've just said, people get good, you corny. Teamwork does make the dream work. You've got a good team, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. Well, people that are around you, Paul, who I used to work for, he said to me, yes, the company he works or he set up that is successful, it's very good. He's like, I couldn't do it without the people that were around me.
You can't. You're only as good as the men you've got working for you. It's right, men or women that you've got working for you. And it's nice. You know what I love the most as well? How long we've been going now, Clickers. So Luke had his own previous company that he still trades, doing developing work. I had my groundwork plant hire firm. We've joined forces. So the CV is Clark and Vickers. Clickers, nice. Don't waste my evenings, Rob. We set Clickers up, and what I love is, we've got probably 30 lads at any one time, different subcontractors and stuff, our own kit. But going back to the early days, we might be downstairs now having a cup of tea. And a lot of them lads down there that you've met are lads that have been with us from the start, but love talking about the old days. Only 3 years ago we've been trading really, but some of the jobs we've done and how we've done them. Remember when we did that? And I love that. Yeah, talking about the jobs you've done and the little stuff. Young Dan, if you met now, he's 21. Dan is. He's been with us since before he left school. So he was 15, 16, leaving school, come and did a week in his Easter holidays to see what groundworking was all about. And he's been with us ever since then. And so we've watched him grow up from a kid to a young man now. And there's, it's a long time, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff that he's driving. I remember he passed his driving test. 2 o'clock. I called in, picked him up, said jump in the tranny tipper, got you insured, you're driving. And we ended up picking a load of barriers up, driving it. You know, so lovely little stories and stuff, and I love all that, you know, and watching somebody develop and grow, and that's what it's all about for me.
I guess as a business expands and grows, it comes with its own stresses and strains.
Yeah.
Can you find that affecting, like on the previous episode I spoke to Tom, and he was like, he's finding it difficult at the moment as his business expands to work-life balance and spending time at home with his family and stuff like that.
No, it is hard. Rob, it is hard, and it does worry me. It does, because, you know, I'm lucky in the fact that my wife Sarah works for Clickers and does all the accounts for the company. We've got young Ted, who's nearly 3, lives and breathes diggers, luckily.
Yeah.
Loves it really, and I've got my daughter who's 15, who's very much into farming. She's going to leave school and try and get into farming more, wants to be a vet tech. So, you know, I'm working 5 days a week, Monday to Friday on site. This is what I do. I am on site. I don't work in the office, I'm on site, I'm boots on the ground kind of guy. And then Saturdays seem to be consumed with setting up ready for Monday morning and all the finishing little jobs. If we are in on a Saturday, I like to use that as like a setup day. You've been going hard all week, Saturday, right, reconvene what we're doing, mark out, set up, put tools away, get ready for Monday morning. You know, we're working here 8 till 4:30, I go home, set up, whack a plate, needs a new rope, doing that, it could be 9, 10 o'clock at night, some nights are finished. And then Sundays I always try to spend time with the family, but sometimes work creeps into that, so yeah, it's hard, this lifestyle, and Sarah does get frustrated. But we are still a young company really, and we are developing, and it's quite hard as well to let go of the reins, but delegate what I'm used to. I'm used to doing all this, working, doing things. It's hard to then trust somebody else. I found that quite hard in the early days. I'm used to doing everything yourself. Well, no. I can only do so. There's only so much you can do, isn't there? So I found it quite hard that. But yeah, it is important in his lifestyle, and Sarah does get very frustrated with me. And I get it, you know, there's so much to do all the time, and you've got to remember your family are there, because the most precious thing is time, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't earn time.
You can't earn time, and you can't put price on it. If you can give somebody your time, you're giving them more than anything, aren't you? So yeah, it is. I am guilty of being a workaholic. I do work a lot. I enjoy it though. I love this. I love driving, working, tinkering. I love it. But I also step back and go, I've got my family as well to take. It's all right doing all this and working and earning all the money. What really is that money any good for, really, if you haven't got your health? Your health is the most important. Health in your family, they are the most important, aren't they?
Exactly, and that's why we all go to work.
Yeah.
For that, yes, we need the money to survive and pay the bills and everything like that. But it's important to strike that balance between earning enough money and keeping the business going, because it's not only the pressure that you feel paying your own mortgage, it's like however many people have got working for you at the same time, and that can lay heavy on you, and then you think, well, I'll just get one more thing in, and the wife might ring you up and say, Dave, can you do this for me? Well, I can't, I'm too busy. But then I used to be guilty of this. Somebody ring me up and then say to me, Rob, can you fit this job in for me? I'm like, yeah, I'll fit it on my way home. But if I've been asked to do something for the house on my way home, I would be like, I can't, I'm too busy. But I always seem to find time for work, and I was very.
You know, and it's hard. It's all very easy to go, right, I'll finish work on Friday, 4:30, and I'm not going till Monday. What we classing as work though, Rob, as well, just thinking about that. Just because you're not doing something, what about when you're on that at night, texting the lads, sorting this out, that's still work, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you might be sat there with your family, but if you're doing this, you're not really there, are you?
No.
You're there. And that really does upset Sarah, because I do want to. Yeah, Doc, yeah. What did I say? Tuesday, next Tuesday. Yeah. And that, so you can't just that isn't work. This is work. This is, so you got to, it's hard. Mate, it's hard having your own businesses. It's hard. It's so hard to try and get it. There's always something that needs doing.
Yeah, there's always something that needs doing, and I try and teach people now that the good thing with problems is that problem will be there on Monday. Whereas you can, when you get to 4:30 or 5 o'clock on a Friday, whatever it is, whatever you set your boundary as downtime, I think it's important to stick to them, because that machine might need greasing, and you might be sat there thinking, I'll get it greased now, I'll do it now, I'll stay another hour here getting this machine greased, which will save me an hour on Monday. But in reality, that hour is going to turn into an argument when you get back, or miss something, or whatever, whatever it might be. So for me now, I'd rather lose an hour on the Monday morning greasing that machine than have
Get what you're saying, mate, and it is, and even I am guilty. I need to listen to that, because you can soon get dragged in with that. Family time is important time. So I suppose when you come to Operator of the Year, so I feel lucky that I've got my wife, my kids, my mum. I'm doing something classed as work. We're there at Operator of the Year, but really we're doing it as a family. And to see that to me is just amazing. Like, little Ted running round with his Digging with Dave t-shirt on, and it's ace really. But I'm guilty of it, working too hard, not thinking about things and my family. Actually, I need to just be careful here, because I'm starting to upset people.
And then before you know
it's a very easy route to go down. It just consumes you, especially when it's your own business. Not always when it's your own business, when people work for other people, But when it's your own business, I don't know. You always want to try and make sure that you're right, and you never turn off. But it is like you say, it's good to just put night time, certain time, put that away.
I've done things in the past where I've stayed and laid bricks later on, or done a job on the way home, or tried to fit something else in. I've gone and done it tired, pissed off, because I don't want to be there, I don't want to be doing it, I should be elsewhere, my mind's elsewhere when I'm doing it. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll go in and do it, and I've come back the next day and go, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And I've had to take it down and redo it, so really you don't end up. And like sometimes some people still don't get what I'm saying to them, and I'll say to them, right, what's your favourite meal? We'll use McDonald's for example. So right, imagine eating McDonald's every single day. And you're eating it and you're eating it and you're eating it, and then one of your friends says to you, fancy going for McDonald's? You're like, no, I don't want to. It's having a balance, knowing how to strike that balance.
It is, it's learning that, and that takes a lot of doing.
And you make mistakes along the way, and you think, right, draw a line in the sand and go again. And it's try not to punish yourself too much, that when you're doing it. And people, like your family, will realise, look, he is trying, and he might not be getting it right every single time, but I can see he's making the effort. He's doing his best.
Doing his best. Do your best.
It all comes back to that.
Yeah.
But Dave, I think that's a good place to end it there.
Brilliant, mate. Well, listen, mate, thank you very much for coming out to us. The lads have enjoyed having you here. We love your van.
I've got loads more stories I can tell them.
Well, yeah, no, and that's important. And like you say, the van, I love the van. I love the campaign with your van. I don't know, it's just got something about it. Every time I see you pull up at an event now, we see the van, Rob's here, come on.
Yeah.
And you do some good work, Rob, you really do. I'm proud to be part of that, mate, with you, so you know where I am.
Amazing, thank you very much, Dave.
Cheers, mate.
Really appreciate that. So, thank you everybody for listening. Make sure you are watching, depending on how you consume the podcast, but make sure you head over and give Dave a follow. I've got all this stuff in the caption below, and it's been popping up all the way through the episode. But if you've enjoyed what we've spoke about in this episode, let us know in the comments below, or if you want us to talk about anything in another episode, or if you want us to catch up with anything, let us know. But other than that, thank you very much everybody, and I'll speak to you all soon. Done. Perfect.
Alright, mate, did that go right?
Yeah, of course it did.
Okay.
Perfect. That was
enjoyed it, mate, as well.